Alright, what up? Sun and Gemini, that's what we're doing, man. So the sun is, the sun influences what you consciously see from the world and how you express yourself, And so since we're on Gemini, let's just Gemini it up, man. Oh, wait, no, I don't want to do it. No, yeah, I will. Oh, okay, yeah, back, forth. Gemini, you know how you be doing it, man. Thinking one thing and then doing another. That's just how it goes. But yeah, so Gemini is ruled by Mercury. They're birthed from the third house, and they are the mutable air sign. Mutable air means they are adaptable and changeable to different ways of thinking and communication. So let's break it down. Let's start with the third house. The third house is the house of like early communication, basic details, and just like just the simple thoughts. So like it's like the first thought you need when you like read a book and the instructions, or like a recipe book, breaking all that stuff down, like reading those details and following those instructions is like the third house. And this is the house that Gemini is it's birthed from, and that's the overarching influence of Gemini. It's like that it's ruled by Mercury, so it's like they always have this like jovial, like lighthearted, like little kid type of feeling. It's just like they're bouncing around, getting in the freaking if they're playing hide and go seek, they're getting in the freaking not the dishwasher, because you can't exactly fit in there, but they will try. But they're the type of freaking like person, like when they're kids, to just hop into a refrigerator and be like, I'm a food. You know what I'm saying? They're just sitting there saying stupid shit, bouncing around, getting into everything, If you're wondering who stole the cookie from the cookie jar, it was probably the Gemini that stole the cookie from the cookie jar, And that's just what they be doing. But then if we roll down to the freaking planets a little bit, they are, they are ruled by Mercury. So Mercury is a very quick thought-based planet, so it's just like when they're talking, they'll start saying about some shit. They'll be like, A plus B equals C. And like, these are the type of signs that'll just make up a freaking mnemonic device to remember a simple like equation, like X equals negative B plus or minus square root B squared minus 4AC all over 2A. And and they'll be responding, saying all this type of shit like that, just to like, get the freaking basic details in their head of a certain freaking what's the word? Of a certain equation. What are you on over?
No, I was thinking about how I dropped the rope on that girl.
Oh, yo, R.I.P. But yeah, so that's just kind of what they're doing. Another like a little like so one of their kind of like the Gemini superpowers that they think they can do, and that they have a good success rate as long as they I'll explain that once I get to it, but Geminis they're very fond of like analyzing people's perspectives and like categorizing like, oh, this is this and this type of person. For instance, like I'm a climber, so they'll be like, the way they'll categorize me is a person that will, I like to climb rocks, I like to be adventurous, I'm kind of out there with it, I'm pretty open to interpretation when it comes to just hopping into a situation. It's like, fuck it, like I just gotta learn, just give me the freaking details, tell me like the routine and the steps that I have to do to get there, and I'll do it. Just break it down for me and I'll get it done. And then, and so, like, with that, it's like, it'll work most of the time, and, like, they'll think that they've categorized these people in the right perspective, but it's like, once they start getting into the mindset of, like, oh, okay, this is this and this type of person, and then they say to themselves that they, like, understand people, and, like, that they know all this, that's how they kind of, like, jinx themselves, and then it'll be like, ah, damn, they're proven wrong, And so that's just what they're doing there. But another thing that they kind of do is like they are very, very fast talkers, and they are definitely like oh my god, a fucking Gemini will say they'll just be saying the stupidest shit, and then once they realize that you caught that them saying some stupid shit, they'll just quick distract you and be like so like they'll realize that they fucked up bad, and then they'll start talking circles around you till you realize that they said some shiesty ass shit, and then like maybe a couple days later you'll realize that like, man, they really just said that to me. Oh my god, how did I miss that? Or you'll catch them in the act, and then they'll start explaining the shit around. They'll start explaining the shit out of the way to get around what they just said, and it'll just be like, oh fuck, man, and then they'll be like fucking up trying to apologize, and they'll be like, no, I didn't say that, I meant this, and this, and they'll just like switch the details of what they said. And it's just like, oh my god, what is this person saying? What is this person saying? Do you even know what you're saying? Or are you just conversating to conversate? And that's just how it be with freaking Sun and Gemini people. Another thing that, what's another thing that I'm a Sun and Gemini, so I'm just trying to categorize what I do, and that's just how I'm breaking it down. Let me think. What is some other shit that I do? They're like, they can be very petty sometimes, and just think the worst things about people, and just like say it to them with complete disregard for like how they feel about it, because it's an air sign, it's based in thought. It's like, It's kind of like, it's sort of like what Joe Rogan said, where it was just like, they're not arguing with you, they're arguing with the thought, and they may not know it if they aren't that self-actualized, but they'll still do it anyway. And oh my God, these people, you'll find these people gossiping up a storm. Like, they'll be saying, like, oh, they'll be like, oh, did you hear this, and this? They got into an argument. This couple got into an argument. Oh, did you hear this? They freaking wove their, they wear freaking Aeropostale underwear. I didn't even know they make underwear. And who wears Aeropostale, you know what I'm saying? Like, they'll just come up with this stupid shit just for the sake of conversating, you know? And I mean, it makes sense because it's kind of like what they sort of, like, learned from the other air sign Aquarius is, like, if they, like, they can like charge, they know, they may not feel it, but they know how to charge certain like words with emotion to make you feel this certain way. It's just to like be like, it's not like they're consciously being manipulative all the time. Don't get me wrong, a Gemini can, like, you know, they'll weave some words together and manipulate the shit out of you. But sometimes they just sort of say things charged with emotion just to get a certain rise out of people, you know, just for fun. Because deep down, they all know that, like, the best conversations are when you, like, catch a wave of something and there's, like, a certain, like, you know, joint, like, feeling over this certain, like, topic, and then they'll just talk up a storm around it because they love to conversate. You know, that's where their feeling is. Their feeling is based in the pure, like, aspect of conversation because, you know, they're ruled by Mercury. That's where they feel at home at. They feel home at thinking and communication. Like, you know, a Gemini's mind will be moving a freaking 1,000 miles an hour at, like, you know, most of the time. I mean, don't get me wrong, like, when they're when, like, there are some times where there's, like, lulls and they're not thinking that fast, but more often than not, it's air sign, so it's just like thought. And when they really get caught onto a wave, it'll just be like rapid fire. You know, you'll just be walking down the street just being like, oh my God, you know, the freaking, you know, I didn't know that they controlled the freaking diamond market and that they're just holding back all these diamonds in freaking Africa just so they can control the price. Oh my God. And then they'll jump all the way over to be like, oh, hey, look at that bird, man. There's a freaking bird. And then, like, oh, for instance, like, I could just be like, oh my God, there's a freaking pickaxe in that rock over there. You know, like, see it? It's right there, you know? And it's just like, they'll completely switch tracks and get off on another track and just start saying all this wild shit, you know? Like, I don't want to say, like, I don't want to say, like, the best person that you can get cursed out by is a Gemini, but the most creative way that, like one of the most articulated ways you can get cursed out by probably will be a Gemini. And, like, they may not necessarily, like, say if they're trying to, like, intimidate you or something, they may not just say, they may not, like, actually feel the need to, like, fight somebody, but they will, like, talk all the shit in the world just to, like, scare you into not fighting them. And, like, where their intentions lie is anyone's guess, but they'll just go for it regardless. And I mean, these are just and that's pretty much it, you know. I mean, these are just a few quick little tips and, like, little things that I've noticed about Geminis and things I've noted about myself. I've known a lot of Geminis, I've known a lot of, you know, I'm with me all the time, so I know a lot about me. But, I mean, yeah, that's pretty much it, you know. I guess to close it off, check it out. Look, there's some mountains right there. Oh, yeah. Woo! Oh, shit, that one's way bigger. God damn. But, yeah, that's about it. Peace.